me teach what you don't know, and after this lesson you will stop caring for something not important. But first, subscribe to this channel for more lessons like this. Make sure you watch this video to the end and you will transform the moment you stop caring about what people think. Your life changes instantly. Most people are trapped, not by reality, but by opinions. Today, I'll show you how to break free. This is not about becoming cold or heartless. This is about taking back control of your mind, your energy, and your life. Because the truth is, the more you care about everything, the weaker you become. But when you stop caring about the right things, you become dangerous. Caring too much makes you weak. The problem is not that you care. It's that you care too much about the wrong things. People overthink opinions. Fear of judgment controls decisions. You start living for others instead of yourself. You want to post something, but you hesitate. You want to speak, but you stay quiet. Not because you're weak, but because you're afraid of what people will think. The more you care about their opinion, the less control you have over your own life. People don't think about you that much. Here's the truth most people don't realize. Nobody is thinking about you as much as you think. Everyone is focused on their own life. Your fear is exaggerated in your mind. That mistake you made, that awkward moment, you're replaying it in your head, but everyone else has already moved on. You are not being judged as much as you are judging yourself. Caring too much makes you weak, and most people don't even realize it's happening to them. Because it starts small. You start thinking about what people will say, how they will react, how they will judge you. And slowly, without noticing, you stop being yourself. You stop speaking freely. You stop taking risks. You start filtering everything you do through other people's opinions. You want to post something, but you delete it. You want to talk, but you stay quiet. You want to try something new, but you hold back. Not because you can't, but because you care too much. And the truth is, the more you care about their opinion, the less control you have over your life. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention, emotions, and approval. Every notification, every opinion, and every social trend seems designed to make us care more than we should. But here's the truth. Caring excessively about things outside your control is the fastest way to frustration, stress, and wasted energy. Stoicism teaches us something revolutionary. To care wisely, not excessively. To understand this, you must first grasp what it means to stop caring about the wrong things. When you stop caring about external validation, you gain control over your inner peace. Imagine walking through your day without the constant worry of what others think, without seeking approval, without fearing judgment. You start making decisions based on your values, not on someone else's expectations. This isn't about becoming cold or indifferent. It's about focusing your care on what truly matters: your character, your actions, and your growth. Life is full of things we cannot change. People's opinions, the outcome of events, and unpredictable circumstances are beyond our control. Caring about them as if you can control them only drags you down. Stoicism doesn't teach us to suppress emotion but to redirect it by choosing where your care goes. You preserve energy, clarity, and focus. Instead of stressing over things you can't influence, you invest in yourself, your skills, your habits, your mindset. The freedom that comes from not caring about what doesn't matter is extraordinary. Think about how much mental space you waste when you obsess over gossip, criticism, or competition. Stop caring about these things, and suddenly your mind is free to strategize, create, and grow. Your actions become intentional rather than reactionary. You are no longer at the mercy of other people's moods or opinions. You become the master of your own life. When you stop caring about approval, fear, or recognition, you naturally attract respect. People are drawn to those who stand firm in their values, who act with consistency and integrity. This is not arrogance, it's presence. Presence that comes from a mind untangled by unnecessary cares. Others sense when you are centered, when your confidence is rooted in your inner principles rather than external applause. Caring too much about failure or mistakes can paralyze you. Stoics remind us that failure is part of growth. When you stop fearing every outcome, you begin to act. You experiment, you take calculated risks, and you learn without the crushing weight of expectation. Each mistake becomes a lesson, not a disaster. Each setback becomes fuel, not a reason to give up. Emotional freedom comes when you stop caring about drama and negativity. Life will always throw chaos your way, rude people, unfair situations, and disappointment. Stoicism teaches that you cannot control these events, but you can control your response. Caring too much about negativity only gives it power. By focusing on your response and maintaining equanimity, you rise above the noise and protect your energy. Your time is the most valuable currency you possess. Caring excessively about trivial matters, people's judgments, or uncontrollable outcomes is like spending your wealth on worthless goods. Invest your attention in what truly shapes your life, your skills, your purpose, your relationships with those who matter, and your contribution to the world. This is where caring pays dividends, and everything else is distraction. When you stop caring about being liked or feared, you gain authenticity. You no longer play roles or mask your true self to fit in. Instead, you show up as you are, grounded, confident, and aligned with your values. Authenticity resonates deeply with others and builds lasting connections, trust, and influence. Trying to please everyone is exhausting. Being true to yourself is liberating. Finally, the Stoic mindset that stops you from overcaring leads to unstoppable inner strength. Life will test you, people will criticize you, and the world will try to shake your focus. But when you stop tying your emotions and energy to things beyond your control, nothing can destabilize you. You remain calm, decisive, and resilient. You live your life on your terms. So take this lesson seriously. Choose wisely where your care goes. Protect your mental space, focus on your growth, and let go of everything else. Stop caring about what doesn't serve you, and everything will change. Your relationships, your decisions, and your sense of freedom will improve. Your energy will skyrocket. And when others see this transformation, they will be drawn to your mindset, not your approval. If you're ready to reclaim your time, your energy, and your peace of mind, then subscribe for more lessons that sharpen your mind and strengthen your character. Learn with me how to live life with clarity, purpose, and unstoppable confidence. Stoicism is not just philosophy. It's a roadmap to mastery over your own life. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention. Every notification, every opinion, and every trend seems designed to pull us in, to make us care about things that do not deserve our energy. But here's a secret that few people ever grasp. The less you care about what doesn't matter, the more control you gain over your life. Caring too much about others' opinions is one of the biggest drains on our energy. Think about it. How many decisions in your life have been influenced by fear of judgment, by wanting approval, or by worrying about what others might think? Stoicism teaches us that seeking approval from the world is a losing game. No matter how much you try, there will always be someone who disapproves. The real power comes from approving of yourself first. When you stop caring about external validation, you free your mind to focus on growth. Imagine a life where every decision you make is aligned with your values, not with the fleeting opinions of others. When you act according to what matters to you, your confidence naturally grows. You are no longer a puppet controlled by other people's expectations. Instead, you become the master of your own actions, your own time, and your own energy. Caring about things beyond your control is exhausting. Life is unpredictable. People are unpredictable. Events unfold in ways you cannot anticipate. Yet so many of us allow these uncontrollable factors to dominate our emotions. Stoicism offers a remedy. Focus only on what you can influence. Your choices, your effort, your attitude. This simple shift transforms frustration into clarity and weakness into power. Think about how much mental space you waste on gossip, rumors, and drama. How often do you replay someone else's words or actions in your mind, letting them affect your mood for hours or days? By choosing not to care about these things, you reclaim that space. You create mental room for strategy, for creativity, for self-improvement. The energy you save can be invested in building a life that matters. Caring too much about failure can also paralyze you. Most people fear mistakes, and this fear often stops them from taking action. Stoics understand that failure is part of the learning process. Every misstep carries a lesson. Every setback is a chance to improve. When you stop fearing failure and stop caring about the judgment that comes with it, you can act boldly, experiment, and grow without the burden of doubt. Emotional freedom comes when you stop caring about negativity. Life will throw chaos at you, people will be rude, situations unfair, events disappointing. If you tie your energy to these things, you give them power over your mind. Instead, focus on how you respond. Your response is the only thing you truly control. By mastering it, you become untouchable, calm in the storm, and confident in yourself. Time is your most valuable asset. Caring about trivial matters, about what cannot change, is wasting this currency. Consider how many hours you spend worrying, overthinking, or chasing meaningless validation. Now imagine redirecting that same time toward building skills, pursuing passions, nurturing meaningful relationships, and contributing to something larger than yourself. That is the kind of caring that pays dividends. When you stop caring about being liked, you become authentic. People are drawn to authenticity. They respect and trust those who are consistent, grounded, and aligned with their values. Trying to please everyone leads to exhaustion, frustration, and a shallow existence. Being true to yourself, even if it offends some, brings freedom, clarity, and respect that superficial approval can never provide. Caring too much about what others think also limits your creativity. Innovation requires courage, the courage to act differently, to try new approaches, to risk failure. If you obsess over how your actions will be perceived, you stifle creativity. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our effort, our intention, our discipline. By doing so, you unlock your potential and open the door to true achievement. The Stoic mindset builds resilience. Life will challenge you. People will criticize you. Situations will disappoint you. But when you stop over-caring, these things lose their power to destabilize you. You remain grounded, calm, and strategic. You respond with purpose rather than reaction. Your focus becomes your weapon, and your energy becomes unstoppable. Stop caring about drama, jealousy, and toxic behavior. Everyone will try to drag you into negativity at some point. Stoicism teaches that your response determines your reality. By refusing to engage in unnecessary emotional battles, you maintain your peace. You conserve your strength for what truly matters. In essence, you become untouchable, not through aggression, but through self-mastery. Stop caring about perfection. Most people wait for the perfect moment to act, speak, or create. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. Stoicism encourages action despite uncertainty. Focus on effort, focus on consistency, and let go of unrealistic expectations. Caring less about perfection allows you to start, to progress, and to achieve in ways that fear and over-caring could never allow. When you stop caring about trivial recognition, you gain focus. Your mind is no longer scattered by the pursuit of fleeting applause. Instead, it is aligned with meaningful goals and lasting achievement. Success rooted in external validation is fragile. Success rooted in inner discipline and purpose is unshakable. Finally, stop caring about how life should be. Life is unpredictable, uncontrollable, and often unfair. Stoics teach that accepting reality, rather than resisting it, is the foundation of peace. When you focus on adapting, improving, and controlling what you can, your power grows exponentially. Life stops being a source of frustration and becomes a canvas for mastery. The freedom that comes from not over-caring is life-changing. Relationships improve because you interact authentically. Decisions become clearer because they are aligned with purpose. Energy multiplies because it is no longer wasted on meaningless concerns. Your presence becomes magnetic because people sense your inner strength and independence. This is not a call to be cold, detached, or indifferent. Caring less is about caring smarter. It is about investing your energy in what truly matters: your growth, your actions, your integrity, your contributions. Let go of the rest. Protect your mental space. Guard your time. Focus on the things that will actually shape your life. If you want to reclaim your mind, your energy, and your freedom, then subscribe and join this journey. Learn how to apply Stoicism in your daily life, how to focus on what truly matters, and how to become a person who lives with purpose, clarity, and unstoppable strength. This is not philosophy for the shelves. This is philosophy for life, action, and transformation. Every day, we are bombarded with messages, demands, and expectations. Social media pings, family pressure, school, friends, and society all insist we care about approval, recognition, success, and image. But the truth is, caring about everything is a trap. It drains your energy, clouds your judgment, and keeps you from living freely. Stoicism teaches us to care wisely, to focus only on what matters, and to release everything else. When you stop caring about others' approval, you reclaim your autonomy. Most people spend their lives acting for applause, tweaking their behavior to fit in, or hiding parts of themselves to avoid criticism. This is exhausting, unfulfilling, and unnecessary. By letting go of the need to be liked, you start acting according to your values, and life begins to feel lighter, clearer, and more purposeful. Think about the hours you've spent worrying about what people think. Replay moments where you said something differently because you feared judgment. Now imagine if none of that mattered. How would you act if your choices were driven solely by your principles, not by others' opinions? That is the freedom Stoicism offers. Caring too much about things outside your control creates unnecessary suffering. You cannot control how people behave, what others say about you, or how situations unfold. The more you tie your happiness to these things, the more your life becomes reactive instead of proactive. Stoicism flips this. Focus on what you can influence: your effort, your attitude, your discipline. Everything else is noise. One of the biggest sources of wasted energy is drama. Conflict, jealousy, gossip, and competition all thrive when you give them attention. By refusing to engage in these distractions, you preserve mental clarity. Imagine a day where every energy-draining thought is removed. Suddenly, your mind is free to create, to plan, and to grow. This is not apathy. It is strategic energy management. Fear of failure is another trap of overcaring. Many people avoid taking action because they worry about making mistakes or being judged. Stoics teach that failure is not the enemy, inaction is. When you stop obsessing over potential outcomes, you act boldly, experiment, and grow. Every mistake becomes a lesson rather than a catastrophe. Overcaring about negativity also limits your emotional freedom. Life is full of challenges, rudeness, unfairness, and unpredictability. If your mood depends on external circumstances, you are always at their mercy. By learning to care less about what you cannot control, you anchor your inner calm. Stoicism is about mastering your response, not controlling the uncontrollable. Time is the ultimate resource. Every moment spent worrying about trivial matters is a moment lost. Many people waste decades chasing approval, reacting to criticism, and fretting about things that do not matter. By prioritizing what truly deserves your care, your growth, your relationships, your actions, you turn every hour into a step toward mastery. When you stop caring about being liked, authenticity emerges naturally. People can sense when someone is aligned with their values and acting with integrity. Authenticity commands respect and attracts meaningful connections. You no longer bend to the expectations of others. Instead, you interact genuinely, confidently, and without fear. Caring excessively about perfection limits your potential. Perfection is an illusion. Waiting for the perfect moment keeps you from starting. Stoicism emphasizes consistent effort over flawless execution. By acting despite imperfection, you progress, learn, and achieve. Caring less about flawless outcomes allows you to take action with clarity and courage. Another consequence of overcaring is stress. Anxiety, overthinking, and emotional turmoil often stem from misplaced attachment to things outside your control. Stoicism offers a mental reset. Detach from what you cannot influence, focus on what you can, and notice how stress evaporates. Your mind becomes sharp, your judgment clearer, and your energy more abundant. Overcaring about recognition or material success creates fragile motivation. Achievements rooted in external validation are temporary. They depend on others' approval. Stoicism shifts the focus inward. When your motivation comes from discipline, integrity, and growth, it becomes unshakable. Success achieved this way is resilient, fulfilling, and sustainable. Caring wisely also strengthens resilience. Life will challenge you, people will criticize you, and unexpected events will occur. Overcaring magnifies the impact of these challenges. Stoicism teaches that your response, not the events themselves, determines your life. By focusing on what you can control, you remain composed, strategic, and confident regardless of circumstances. Letting go of excessive caring allows you to invest energy in meaningful pursuits. This could be learning a skill, building meaningful relationships, creating content, or contributing to your community. Every unit of energy spent on what matters compounds. Every unit wasted on what does not dissipates. Stoicism is about intelligent allocation of your mental and emotional resources. Caring too much about people's negativity or toxicity gives them control over your life. Stoicism teaches selective engagement. Your energy is precious. not everyone deserves access to it. By refusing to engage in unnecessary conflict, you preserve peace, focus, and mental strength. This is the foundation of personal power. Stop caring about how life should be. Expecting life to align with your desires leads to disappointment. Stoics accept reality as it is and act within its constraints. When you stop caring about unrealistic expectations, you gain clarity, adaptability, and freedom. You start responding to life rather than resisting it. Finally, stop over-caring about your image. True confidence comes from competence, character, and inner alignment, not from appearances. Stoicism teaches that the world's judgment is outside your control, but your behavior, effort, and principles are within it. Focus there, and you cultivate lasting respect, not superficial approval. By stopping unnecessary caring, you reclaim your life, your energy, your focus, your peace. Your decisions become purposeful, your relationships more meaningful, and your growth unstoppable. The Stoic mindset is not cold or detached. It is strategic, intentional, and liberating. Subscribe to join this journey. Learn how to focus on what truly matters, how to act with clarity, and how to master your mind in a world designed to steal your attention. Stoicism is not just a philosophy. It is the key to living a life of freedom, strength, and unstoppable purpose. Every day, the world demands your attention. Notifications, messages, social media, family, and friends all seem to insist you care deeply about everything. But here's the truth: caring too much about things outside your control steals your peace, focus, and energy. Stoicism teaches a revolutionary mindset. Care wisely, not excessively. Have you ever stopped to notice how many of your choices are influenced by what others think? Decisions about what to say, what to wear, even who to spend time with, often dictated by fear of judgment. By letting go of the need to please, you reclaim autonomy over your life. Imagine a day where nobody's approval mattered. How would you act differently? The Stoic answer: you act according to your values, not someone else's expectations. That is freedom. That is clarity. That is strength. Overcaring about external validation creates endless frustration. People will never agree with you on everything, and trying to satisfy everyone is exhausting. Instead, focus on your actions and principles. They are the only things truly under your control. Think of how much energy you waste replaying conversations in your head, worrying about what was said or done. By deciding not to care about trivial judgments, you free your mind for creation, strategy, and growth. Fear of failure is another trap. Many people never start something because they worry about making mistakes. Stoicism flips this. Failure is not the enemy. Inaction is every setback is a lesson, every misstep a chance to improve. Life will throw challenges your way: rudeness, injustice, unpredictability. Overcaring about these forces gives them power over your mind. Stoicism teaches that your response, not the events themselves, determines your reality. Mental energy is finite. Every moment spent worrying about what cannot be controlled is a moment lost. Focus instead on what shapes your life, your effort, your habits, your character. This is where care becomes effective. Stop caring about being liked. Authenticity commands respect. When you act in alignment with your values, people are drawn to your confidence. Superficial approval is temporary. Genuine respect lasts. Overcaring about perfection limits action. Waiting for the perfect moment keeps you stuck. Stoicism emphasizes consistent effort over flawless execution. Action, even imperfect, is always more powerful than hesitation. Reflect for a moment. How often do you let fear of judgment stop you from speaking your mind? Every time you do, you give your power away. Stop caring about criticism that does not serve you. Caring excessively about negative events or people also limits your freedom. Life is unpredictable. Chaos will arrive. Stoics teach, focus on your response, not the chaos. This creates mental resilience and emotional strength. Time is your most valuable resource. Every wasted moment is gone forever. Stop caring about trivial distractions, social media drama, pointless arguments, or gossip. Invest your energy in growth, purpose, and skill building. When you stop over-caring, authenticity flourishes. People are naturally drawn to those who act with integrity and confidence. Stop performing for others. Start living as yourself. Over-caring about approval or material success creates fragile motivation. Success built on external validation can crumble overnight. Stoic success is internal, consistent, and unshakable. Resilience grows when you care less about uncontrollable events. Life will always challenge you, but the less attachment you have to outcomes, the stronger you become. Focus on effort, not result. Letting go of over-caring allows you to invest energy in meaningful pursuits, learning, creating, helping, or building. This is where care compounds into real power and lasting satisfaction. Stop caring about toxic people or situations. Not everyone deserves your energy. Stoicism teaches selective engagement. Protect your mental space, and focus on what grows your life rather than drains it. Stop caring about how life should be. Expecting life to match your desires is a path to disappointment. Accept reality, act within constraints, and shape your destiny with what you control. Stop caring about image. True confidence comes from competence, character, and discipline, not appearances or approval. Your behavior, choices, and values are what people notice most. Mini story. Imagine a friend who constantly seeks attention online, posting every achievement. They seem busy, but are they really fulfilled? The Stoic path. Focus on your inner growth, not others' perceptions. Another reflection. How often do you let fear of rejection stop you from asking for what you need? Caring too much about no prevents progress. Stoicism teaches persistence without emotional dependency on outcomes. Exercise. Today, choose one thing you usually over-care about and let it go. Notice the mental clarity and energy that emerges. This practice trains your mind to focus on what matters. When you stop caring about being liked, you gain inner freedom. You no longer alter your actions to fit others' expectations. You make choices rooted in your principles, leading to authentic influence. Over-caring about drama consumes focus. Observe how much attention you give to arguments, rumors, or tension. Now imagine redirecting that energy toward action and mastery instead. Fear of criticism often blocks creativity. Artists, entrepreneurs, and thinkers thrive because they prioritize expression over approval. Stoicism teaches the same. Focus on effort, not opinion. Reflection question. When was the last time you avoided doing something valuable because of someone else's judgment? Recognize it, learn, and commit to act despite fear. Stop caring about perfection in small things. Small mistakes do not define your value or ability. Caring less about minor flaws frees you to focus on growth and progress. Emotional control is key. When events trigger anger, sadness, or frustration, ask, is this within my control? If not, let it go. Your response is your power. Emotions tied to uncontrollable events are wasted energy. Every action guided by overcaring is slowed, hesitant, or burdened. Every action guided by intentional care is strong, deliberate, and impactful. Stoicism teaches intentionality in thought, emotion, and action. Mini story. Consider a leader who makes decisions based on fear of criticism. They stagnate, lose influence, and burn out. Contrast this with a leader who acts with integrity and focus, respected, effective, unstoppable. Reflection. Notice the areas where you allow others to dictate your happiness. Each moment you reclaim your control adds to your independence, confidence, and resilience. Stoicism does not mean indifference. It means smart caring. Energy spent on growth, relationships, and meaningful pursuits compounds. Energy spent on approval, drama, and triviality dissipates. Overcaring creates anxiety and stress. Stop measuring your worth by external factors. Focus on effort, principles, and personal growth. The results will follow naturally. Stop caring about outcome only. Effort is within your control. Results are often influenced by external forces. Stoics measure life by the quality of their actions, not by external recognition. Every time you release unnecessary caring, you reclaim a part of yourself, time, energy, focus, clarity, and freedom. This is the core of Stoic mastery. Reflection prompt. What are 3 areas where you overcare? Write them down. For each, ask, can I control this? If no, release it. Observe how your mind feels lighter immediately. Subtle subscriber cue. If you want to continue strengthening your mind and mastering your energy, subscribe now. Together, we'll explore practical Stoic wisdom for everyday life, action, and transformation. Caring wisely is not coldness. It is precision. It is freedom. It is intentional focus on what shapes your life and happiness. It is living deliberately, not reactively. Remember, stop overcaring, focus on your values, act with discipline, and let go of what does not serve you. Your energy will multiply, your clarity will expand, and your life will change. Subscribe to continue this journey, and discover how Stoicism transforms ordinary days into extraordinary mastery.